grace, our job is to recognize that grace has already made it available and to believe, to receive it by faith, and then to agree with it and act like it's so. Under grace, you're not over here trying to fast more. Fasting is good. You're not over here trying to pray more. Praying is good. You're not over here trying to go to church more. Coming to church is good. But you're not taking those spiritual things and turning them into the work of the flesh so that you can deserve to try to get what you're after. You have to come over here with the right attitude under grace and understand it's done. Say out loud, it is finished. I'm going to call some things out as a review. Healing, deliverance, prosperity, soundness, preservation, new job, your husband. Okay, so the attitude has got to be under grace, it's done. Under grace, it's finished. Now, sometimes it's hard for people to get a hold of because it doesn't look like it's finished. It doesn't feel like it's finished. I can't see it finished. And so you're tempted to continue to operate as if you're under the law. When you're not under the law, you're under grace. And so Paul says that here's his job, here's his objective. I want to promote people to be obedient to the faith of this grace. And how is he going to do that? He says, I'm going to tell people it's finished, it's done. To be obedient under grace means I believe it's done, I believe it's finished, so I'm going to be obedient to receive it by faith. Obedient to receive it by faith. So if we find you doing something to try to get God to do something, you are being disobedient to the faith because you don't agree or you're not aligning up with what has already been done. So for you to be over here and I say, you know, what you're doing? Well, I'm fasting to get God to heal me. You are being disobedient to the faith. To be obedient to the faith means what? You believe that you're healed. You believe you receive healing that's already done. And so I believe it. I receive it. Now, I know you're thinking, but what do you do? What do you do? You're believing it. You're receiving it. You're thanking God for it. And every day you get up, you do it again. I believe it. I receive it. Thank you, Jesus. And the next day, I believe it. I receive it. Thank you, Jesus. You keep doing that until you are convinced confidently on the inside with peace that it is done. And as soon as you realize that, that's when it will demand that manifestation to show up in your life. Does everybody see what I'm saying? Now, this is what we're going to be carving out tonight so that you'll see what this is. So, obedience to the faith is you being obedient to receive and agree with the finished works of Jesus Christ. To believe, to receive, and to agree with the finished works of Jesus Christ. Now, Deuteronomy 28 talks about obedience under the law. Go to Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 and 2. Let's just look at that again. It's important so you can see the contrast and stuff. Verse 1 says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do, there it is, that's what you do under the law, it's always about to do, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee because you are doing something, and they'll overtake you because of what you're doing, and if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, verse 3, and he says, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field, and blessed shall thou be the fruit of thy body. In other words, he says, now because of what you do, that's going to determine if you get blessed. Because of what you do, that's what's going to determine if you get blessed. Now, if you go to verse 15, Deuteronomy 28, the problem with obedience under the law is if you're successful to be obedient to do the commandments under the